Right, today we're going to be looking at work in the style of this artist, post-wook. And what they do is they create fantasy landscapes. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start to collect those landscapes, or the elements. I hope you can see here we've got a road, we've got mountains, we've got a moon, we've got a galaxy, and we've got, in this case, we've got a doorway. But we'll just go for straight road, mountains, moon, galaxy. And what we need to do is to first of all set our canvas. So if we open up Photoshop and then go File, New, and here you need to, well, you could call this a title, Fantasy Landscape. And then you go to the presets, and because this is so you can print it out, and go International Paper and check that A4. The other thing you want to do is check your resolution is 300 pixels per inch, but it should just set that for you. Okay, so now I've got a piece of paper that is A4. Now I need to find some images, so I simply go onto the internet through that symbol there and type in straight road, find one I like the look of, right click on it, copy image, and then I go back to Photoshop and paste it. Now we can see it's not very big, but that's fine for the moment. The next thing I'm going to look for is I go down here and I'm going to go mountains. And I'm going to find one that I want to kind of put behind that other one. There could be all sorts, but let's just try this one. Click on it, right click on the big picture, copy image, go to Photoshop, paste the image. So now I've got some mountains and I've got a straight road. Next thing we want to look at is moon. Find a picture of the moon, click on it, right click, copy image, back to Photoshop, paste the image. Oh, didn't copy it, sorry. Edit, step backwards. Right click, copy image, Photoshop, paste. There we are, that was quite a big image. But as I say, these size doesn't matter, we can change them in a minute. And the final thing I'm going to do is to go galaxy. So on the internet, galaxy. Spell it right, galaxy. Find one that I'm going to put behind the moon. So I want something quite spangly, but not too. Maybe that one. Click that one. Right click on it. Copy image. Go to Photoshop. Paste. There we are. So I've got all the elements and you can see them all lined up here on the layers. So the first thing I need to do is get them all roughly the same size. So that moon's too big. So I click on the moon and I go Edit, Transform, Scale, hold down Shift or up arrow, stop it distorting, and then I make it down a bit smaller so I can cope with it. Take the thumb off first, go up there and apply it, or press enter. Now I've got a moon, got a galaxy, I've got a mountain, and I've got a road. At this stage it's a really good idea to click on the image and name your layers. So if I click on that, double click on it, I can go road, double click there and I can go mountain, and click on there and go moon, and double click on there and put galaxy. So now I know the elements that I've got. Let's go to my road and put it where I want it, and then edit, transform, scale, hold down shift, drag it as big as I want it. It always looks a bit pixely at this point, but when you press enter, it won't be. Next thing, mountains. I want to put my mountains behind at the end of this road. At the moment they're not, and I could just put them in front of it, but I want to make it look quite convincing. So get them the right size first, edit, transform, scale, hold down shift or up and drag them across to fit. Take the thumb off first, press enter. Let's get the road in front of the mountains. Right, so what you can see hopefully here that this blue is in the way. So if I now go to this tool, which is the quick selection tool, and I go across the blue, I press delete, control D gets rid of the marching ants. I've now got mountains, and I might raise them up a bit. Next thing I want to do is put this galaxy into this space. So let's put the galaxy behind the mountains. That means we've got to get rid of all of this. So we do that with the same tool. That tool there, quick selection tool, go over, make sure we're on the right one, go over your mountains. Whoops. There we are, it's picked the mountains, it's missed that bit, so if I press Alt I can push it back. And then once I'm happy with that I can delete the mountains, control D. Now I can make the galaxy fit into that space. Put the galaxy behind it, edit, transform, scale, hold down shift. There I've got my galaxy. Press enter. Finally, the moon. The moon has got a load of black around it. Don't want that. So, magic wand, press the black, highlighted it, press delete, control D, now I've got my moon. And then there's all sorts of other stuff you can do with it, which I'll talk to you about later. But there you've pretty much got your design. So I've actually made it a bit tall, so I could crop it down a bit if I wanted to. Oops. Let's try that in a different way. Let's crop it down a bit. So there. Now I've got my fantasy landscape starting to happen. I can do all sorts with it then. I can go to that moon and go image, adjustments, colour balance. Change the colour of the moon to make it look like a crazy moon. Purple looks good. And I can do that to all my layers. In fact, I could go to the front row and go image, adjustments, colour balance. Make that a bit crazier. Make that a bit more purple. So it looks like a weird fantasy landscape. Right, so your task today is to try to get all of those images together, layered one behind the other, and looking like they are all part of one landscape.